Hi, this is Joe and welcome back to the shop. This is going to be a quick video this week. I have these, I guess you can call them brake pads or backing plates. They're bronze. They're for the on the top of the mill on the front pulley. There's a double-sided Acme screw that mounts into a collar, and these apply pressure when pulling on the handle to stop the front spindle. As you can see on this particular backing plate, there is brake pad material, but on this one there's none. It's worn down to just the bare bronze here. So there's no way I can find replacement pads for this mill. It's very old. So what I did was I picked up some scooter brake pads off of Amazon, $7 for the pair. This will be enough brake pad material probably to last my lifetime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim them down on my metal cutting bandsaw. They won't be as wide or as long, but I will cut them the same width, and then we'll epoxy them on with some high temperature epoxy. So this week I'm going to clean up. This one I'll leave alone till it wears down some more, but this one I'm going to clean up. We're going to cut one of the pads, create a piece of pad that will fit on here. We'll epoxy it on, and that's what we'll be doing this week. So let's go over to the belt sander and the metal cutting saw, and let's get this sized up. We've belt sanded that backing plate down pretty well to where the bronze is really shiny. I'll get myself a wire brush and try to take out some of the brake pad material in the center. If I can't get it all, that will be fine. We'll just epoxy the new pad over the top of that and make sure there's a good rough layer, so we'll get a good mechanical bond as well as a chemical bond. So I'm going to start cutting the brake pad now to fit this size. I'll do that on my metal cutting bandsaw. Show you that here in a sec. What I'll do is I'll take this and round the corners and prep this up. Again, it's not going to be the full width. I'm more concerned about the height of the brake pad material. So we'll clean those, bevel some of those edges and line this up, and then we'll epoxy that on. There's plenty of adjustment for the height of the two backing plates and the brake pad material, so that when they fit together, there'll be plenty of height for that extra high piece there. We'll try to see how this works. We'll use some JB Weld, which is 600 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's again, we're going to be doing maybe 2-3 seconds of braking at most. So should be well within the limits of 600 degrees. So we're not going to be doing any heavy braking, just enough to stop the spindle from spinning. And that again is applied. These two pads are applied between the front pulley up near the drawbar on top of the mill head. So let's go over and clean this up. We'll sand these and then let's epoxy them on. Okay, let's clean this up with some acetone and let's prep the epoxy, and then we will epoxy on the pad to the backing plate. Okay, we have some acetone, we have a clean rag. We're going to clean up the mounting surface where we're going to epoxy this. Make sure you clean it really well. Also clean the back of your brake pad. I took off camera, I took the back of this and ran it over the belt sander. You want to rough up the surface so that when the epoxy will get in on the microscopic grooves there, and again form a good mechanical bond as well as a chemical bond. So clean that up really well. Okay. Clean up this mess here. Okay, so what I have here is some JB Weld. I don't have the JB Weld Quick. The normal JB Weld has a higher temperature rating. I believe it's 600 degrees. The JB Quick has a 300 degree high temperature, which should be fine, but since I have some of the normal JB Weld, I'll go ahead and I'll use that anyway. This stuff takes a while. The Quick sets up in about 5 minutes. The normal JB Weld will set up a bit longer, so you have a little bit more pot life in working with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix up equal amounts of JB Weld and stir it up, and then I'm going to try to cover as much of the old surface here as I can, because again we don't know if that's asbestos or not, and I don't want any of that stuff coming loose and getting in the air. So I'm going to cover all of this with the JB Weld. And this stuff is a 50-50 mix. 50 of the epoxy and 50% of the hardener. I collect a lot of old popsicle sticks and use those for mixing, but I also use some polyethylene mixing sticks, which are really nice. Even if the epoxy dries on this stuff, it just peels right off. So let's go ahead and mix this stuff up. JB Weld is really thick, so you want to mix it really well. You got plenty of pot life to work with it, so you don't have to worry about it setting up on you. Just make sure that you get all of it mixed really well. If you don't mix it well, it's not going to cure. Okay, so we have this all mixed up. What you want to do is put some epoxy on both surfaces that you're going to be bonding. So let's do that so you can see that. Okay, once you have that, we're going to put the beveled edge forward. Okay. Put that in the middle. Okay. And then what we're going to do is take a little bit of a toothpick. Let me get a toothpick. And then we're going to clean up some of the stuff where it's squeezed out between the pad and the backing plate. And again, I want that epoxy to cover over all the asbestos, because I don't want any of that sticking out, just to be safe. Okay, we'll let this set up overnight. Then we can mount it back on the Acme screw here. And when we're ready to put the brake assembly back on the pulley, we'll go ahead and do that.